learn about permutation and combination. Uh, Before we study about this combination and permutation, uh, you need to know about this multiplication principle or multiplication rule. Okay, right. So multiplication principle or multiplication rule. Okay, yeah. Right. So Li Ying, can you help to read here? There are two roads.
There are two roads from town A to town B and three roads from town B to town C. Mr. Lee wished to travel from town A to town C using the above roads. How many ways can he choose his route?
Okay. Now, from town A to town B, there are two roads. Let's say we call them one alpha and another one called beta. Then from town B to town C, there are three roads. One you call gamma, another delta, and another one kappa. Okay. There is no direct road from A to C. No direct road. So you want to go from A to C, you have to go through B. Understand the question or not?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, understand the question, huh? Right. Okay. So let's see the picture. Okay. So the picture is something like this. From A to B, there are two black lines. So each line represent one road. Okay, so you can either use alpha or beta. Then from B to C, you have three black lines. Each line again will represent one road. Okay, so I call them with names like gamma, kappa, and delta, so that you can actually see the difference. If you just say road, then it can be road number one, road number two, you don't know which road, right? Okay, so this is the picture that we have. Okay, right. Now, let's say, for example, you want to go from A to B, A to B. You use the first road called alpha. Now, after using the first road alpha, when you want to go from B to C, you can use either one of these three roads, gamma, kappa, or delta. That means for road number one, you have three choices for road number two, right? Now, similarly, if you choose road beta, road B lah, you can also choose one of the three roads. When you choose B, then you can choose gamma, kappa, or delta. Okay. Now, the first road, you have how many choices? You have two choices, right? The first road, you have alpha or beta, right? Now, for each of these road you use during the first part of your journey, right? For each of these, the second part of the journey, you can use three roads. So that means if you use alpha, second part you can use three roads. If you use beta, second part you can have three roads. Okay. So now I want to ask you, hey, how many ways are total number of ways in which you can go from B to C? Can you count how many ways? Any answer?
6.
Six ways, correct. Now why six ways then? Because the first here alpha that time you have three ways. Beta that time you have another three ways. So how many three ways are there? There are two three ways. Two three ways, that means 2 times 3 lah. So 2 times 3 is how much? 6 ways. Now, to tackle this type of problem, you draw boxes there, like the boxes that I've drawn here. these boxes. Okay, so the first box represent how many ways can you do the first job. That means go from A to B. The second box represents how many ways you can go from B to C. How many ways, right? So you fill up with boxes. Oh, from A to B, 2 ways. So you write down 2 inside the first box. From B to C, oh, 3 ways. So I write down 3 inside the box. So if you want to know the total number of ways, you use 2 times 3. Why multiply? Because for each of the first way, there are 3 second ways. For each of the first way, there are 3 second part. Okay, so altogether, how many for the first? 2. How many for the second? 3. So you multiply them together. Now this is called the multiplication principle or the multiplication rule. Any question?
No,
Jia Yan
teacher.
just came in. Jia Yan got any question or not? Jia Yan say no question, can understand. Okay, now we are going to look at the second problem. Second problem is breakfast menu. Oh, I like to eat, so I always think of eating. Okay, now for breakfast, you can choose one drink and one food, right? One drink and one food. Okay, right. Okay, so who want? Mine lah. Li Ying, you please read this. Mrs. Lee.
Mrs. Lee has to choose one drink and one food from the breakfast menu. How many different choices can she make?
Oh, like that. So how many different choices can she make? First one, if you want to choose a drink, there are 4 types of drink: Milo, milk, coffee, or tea. Now, let's say if Mrs. Lee choose a cup of Milo, okay, then the next one will be she can either choose bun lah, cakes lah, or kueh moi. Kueh is very popular. Okay, right. Next. Now, if Mrs. Lee choose a cup of Milo, what type of food can she choose? She can, after drink, she take the cup of Milo, then she can choose either the bun, the cake, or the kueh. How many ways are there altogether? After taking the Milo, she has 3 ways of
3.
choosing the food. Yes, 3. Very good. So let's say if she take, don't want to take the Milo lah, she want to take a cup of milk. So for the cup of milk also, she can take any of the 3 types of food, right? Maybe for you, you like coffee. So let's say if you choose coffee, of she choose coffee, not you. Let's say if she choose coffee, then she can also choose either of these 3 types of food. If she choose tea, she can also choose either of these 3 types of food. So how many ways can she choose her breakfast? Now might ask another girl. Qian Tong, how many ways? Cannot talk, then you just type on the screen. How many ways can she has her breakfast? How many ways can she have her breakfast? Qian Tong cannot answer. Okay, then Jia Yan can answer or not? Also cannot.
12.
12, correct, 12. Why 12 ne? Because one drink,
4 times 3.
one drink you can have 3 food, correct? Then 4 drinks, This one 1 3 2 3 3 3 4 3. So 4 3 12 ways, right? Correct. Okay, let's see what they have to say. There are 4 ways to choose a drink, right? For each of these ways, there are 3 ways to choose a food. Now, the important one is the second sentence. For each of these ways, that means for each drink, you can have 3 ways of choosing the food. You have 4 drinks, then you have times the 3, you have to times 4, right? Okay, so again, we try to create 2 boxes. Why 2 boxes? Because the first box is for the drink lah. The second box is for the food lah. Okay, so the answer is 4 times 3. So because we want to times or multiply, so this rule is called the multiplication rule or the multiplication principle. So answer 12 different ways.